Yeah, everyone, good morning and good evening. Okay, let's start with today's session and let's see what exactly we are doing. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so today we'll focus on one of the static analysis tool, that is SonarQube. PPT. So let's understand what exactly is SonarQube and what exactly is static application security testing. So static application security testing is basically a white box testing, guys. It's part of white box testing wherein the tester will have access to the source code. Okay, so the tester will have access to the source code. He can dive into source code and he can do all sort of testing what he wants. And this testing plays a very important role in your entire software development. Though your black box testing also plays a very important role, well, white box testing is basically when you're building your product, when you're building your module, when you're writing a function, when you're writing a class. At that time the testing happens. Each and every line of code gets tested over here. So your unit test cases, your code coverage, and plus SAST. So SonarQube is one of the widely used SAST tool right now. It's open source. Okay, it has enterprise version level SonarQube also, you can take it. So, but if you ask me, it's an open source tool which has different set of quality gates, which has n number of published profile which is pre-created. Okay, which is by default created. You simply have to integrate SonarQube with your application, and based on the default profiles which is already created by SonarQube, and they keep on adding that profile, guys. So it's open source. There are developers around the world, they keep on adding those profile, and based on those profile your application will be tested. But if you wish to create a custom gate, custom profile, even that is possible. SonarQube is not stopping you to do that. Okay, now SonarQube, as I said earlier, it's an open source platform developed by SonarSource for continuous inspection of code quality to perform automatic reviews with static analysis of code. So automatically your codes will be reviewed while your build is happening. At the same time your code inspection will also happen. Your code quality will be checked, and based on that a feedback and a report will be generated. Now there are multiple criteria on which SonarQube does the testing. Okay, that is something we'll discuss going forward. Now why do we need SonarQube? So SonarQube will help detecting areas in the code that needs refactoring or simplification. Now simplification, like if you have written a loop, okay, that can be written in a better and a simplified way. SonarQube will highlight that line for you, that these can be written in a better and simplified way, and it may give you an example kind of structure that this is something you can do. So that is also something SonarQube does. Refactoring, if there's any refactoring needed in your code without changing the external behavior. Okay, when I say refactoring, that is change in code without changing the external behavior of your application, that comes into refactoring. Even that will SonarQube will help you with that. It can help you find bug early in the development cycle, which means less cost to fix them. Early in the development, like if there are some packages which you're using in your application and that packages got depreciated, that package is no longer available, or that package is no longer you're using it, that can eventually become a bug in your application in future. All this will be highlighted by SonarQube automatically. Okay, SonarQube will highlight all this to you while you're doing a SonarQube analysis. So these are all code smells, guys. So there is a term called code smell in SonarQube. These are all code smell which SonarQube basically goes through your code, and if you find out that these are possible bug or this could be a possible issue in future, so that is marked as code smell in SonarQube. We define project specific rules which will then implement without manual intervention. So if you have any specific custom rules, like suppose you are providing a custom rules, like if the code smell is more than 10, or if you have code coverage less than, remember yesterday's session when I said the code smell should be 85% minimum. So if you have any such rules in place, then SonarQube will take care of those rules automatically. So it will make sure that your build is not getting processed without having those rules in place, if you're not meeting those criteria. Okay, and what exactly SonarQube does? So this is why we need SonarQube. That's what the question. And what exactly it does? It will help simplifying. Having visibility into code is not enough. In order to address the issue flagged by the code, we need to make use of different data insight that we get from SonarQube. So whatever issue has been flagged, like there are n number of code smell, there are n number of issues, which whatever has been flagged by SonarQube, using SonarQube analysis tools you can analyze those as well. How? Using quality gates. Best way to ensure the standards are met and regulated in projects. So quality gates are gates like, it's like a gatekeeper. So you define your own quality gates, you define your own metrics, like quality gates such as the code smell should not be greater than 10, your code coverage should be more than 85%. These are all quality gates which you're defining. And if your project is not meeting the quality gates, SonarQube will make sure that it's not moving forward. Okay. It can also define threshold measure set on your project. So these all will be done at the project level. So basically what will happen, for individual build pipeline you will have projects created in SonarQube, and in the project you can have your own custom profiles created, you can have your own custom gates created. Based on that you can have your SonarQube scanning done. Like suppose if you are setting up any conditions like code coverage, code smell, and there are n number of conditions guys which you can set by yourself. Post that, SonarQube will start automatically, it will start checking for those conditions. If those conditions are not meeting, the build pipeline will fail. So you can have a build break done. So even that is an option available with us. If you want to break your build, depending upon the project, depending upon your requirement, that if these conditions are not met, your build should break. If you have any such criteria, then even that will happen. We can do that also. So this is how SonarQube will be set up. So we'll be setting up Docker first. So this is the easier way of setting up SonarQube, and inside Docker we'll be setting up SonarQube. I can set up SonarQube using binaries also directly on a Linux machine, but this is the easier way of setting up SonarQube from scratch. Okay, so this is Docker run. This is the package image which we will be using, and disabling the bootstrap. This is the port on which the SonarQube will be accessible, and this is the latest image of SonarQube. I'm sorry, this is the naming convention of SonarQube with an environment variable. We are disabling the bootstrap check. Okay, so again, SonarQube is an open source platform developed by SonarSource. Exactly what it does, it will do a continuous inspection of code quality. So quality check. So there are, based on what it does, so there are n number of profiles, parameters are already defined in SonarQube. Based on those parameters, it will go and do the inspection of your code. Can we create our own profile? Yes, you can create your own custom profile. You can also define quality gates. Quality gates are nothing but based on those conditions. So there will be, in quality gates you will have conditions in place. So if your build pipeline is not meeting those criteria, those conditions, then we have an option in SonarQube that will not allow the build to process further. So we can break the build then and there. So this plays a very important role when you're following continuous integration and continuous deployment. What did I say in continuous deployment? The only stopping is your build pipeline. If everything passes in build, that means there's no stopping, your code will be deployed in production. But with SonarQube in place, you can make sure if the condition are not met, like your code coverage, your code smells and all these are not met, then your build will break and it will not move further. Okay, so that's it from SonarQube theory. Let's go and set this up by scratch, and then let's move on further. Anyone, any questions while I'm building the... So what I'll do, I'll create one VM, Linux VM, Ubuntu VM on cloud, and on top of it we'll set up Docker. I'm not teaching Docker right now, guys, so we'll just run simple Docker commands. We'll have a Docker session later, not right now. So I'm just setting up Docker for setting up SonarQube on top of it. Okay, so if anyone has any question, please do let me know. No questions? I saw some a doubt in the group chat. Hopefully that is resolved, or do you still have the doubt?
Yeah, issue has resolved, right? I got it.
Perfect. So let me quickly go and get this VM created. So we'll set up SonarQube from scratch. Post that we'll integrate SonarQube with our pipeline, the Java pipeline which we have created yesterday. Okay, let me change the configuration. It's just one vCPU and one RAM. I think this is more than enough, but this is very time consuming. Let me just change it to something else. At least a 2 gig of memory, this one. Because there are multiple things we'll set up, guys. We need Docker on top of it, then we'll set up SonarQube server on top of it, and then at least 2 gig of memory is required. It will work on 1 gig also, but it takes time sometimes. And sometimes it fails also, so always at least have 2 gig of memory for setting up SonarQube. Okay, the steps are given over here. This is the note. This is a basic Docker installation. I'll talk about these commands later when we start with Docker, but for now basically I'm adding a repo, a Docker repo. This is the repo which I'm adding, and then I'm using this docker c command. I'm downloading Docker Compute Engine. So this command will not just get me the engine, it will get me the Docker CLI as well. So this has everything inside. Post that, this is the command which we need to use in order to log into SonarQube. Okay, and then this is how you will be logged into the SonarQube portal. Using this is the default admin. Post that, you can change your user ID and password also. You can do user management also on SonarQube if you want. Okay, we have the VM created. Let me go and log into the VM quickly. Where is the public IP? Okay, perfect. Let me have the bash. Okay, so let's go and do SSH. Let's run these commands. Okay, for this command guys, I do have a shell script. You can have a shell script created and you can run this all at once. So even that is something you can try. So these are dependencies. apt transport, http, cs certificate, curl and everything are dependency for downloading Docker. This is where adding a repo. Now we'll do the update again. So we are just adding this repo. If you see download.docker.com, this is the repository which we are adding to a local, post which we need to update. When we do an update, even that repo will get updated. If you see this, the repo is getting updated over here. Now I can run the docker ce command, then my Docker will get installed. This is one way of installing Docker. There are other ways. Using binaries, you can have a, then you can unzip and things like that. You guys can hear me, correct? Give me 1 minute, let me just reshare the screen.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry for that, let me reshare. Okay, so the Docker is installed. How do we verify? I can try and run the Docker command. Docker -- version, I believe. Yeah, if you see, we got Docker version installed currently. What was the last command we ran? There it is. This is the command which we executed. Now we got Docker installed. Now let's go and run this Docker. So basically what it will do, I don't have this image, SonarQube latest. It will go on Docker Hub. It's available in the public repository, so it will go and fetch that image for me. Then it will create a container with SonarQube, with the name SonarQube, and the port 9000 will be opened. Okay, let me copy this and run this again. Okay, let's run this. Permission denied. I forgot to use sudo in front of it. Let me use sudo. You need a sudo user for doing this. Let's do sudo over here. Okay, if you see, it's pulling the SonarQube from the library. So basically from where exactly it fetches things, it goes to Docker Hub. I'll talk about Docker Hub later, but for now just keep in mind Docker Hub is nothing but it's a public repository where all the images of Docker is kept. Okay, now Docker ps. Now if you see, we got SonarQube up and running. SonarQube latest, listening on localhost 9000. Now how do I access this page? In order to access this page, we have a public IP. Okay, so using this public IP, I can simply go to http :9000. My browser is stuck. Okay, now it should take time, guys, because SonarQube will take time. Let's wait. Let's wait while the things are coming up. Now in the meanwhile, if you want to see the Docker logs, you can see that also. But this, okay, we have not opened port 9000 at the VM level. That was the, let's go and open the port 9000 also. Let's name it as SonarQube port. We have allowed port 9000 at the Docker level, not at the network level. So we need to allow this also. This is done. Refresh it. Let's wait. Okay, in the meanwhile, while you're waiting, if you want to know what's happening, you can even check for Docker log. All these commands will again come back, guys. But for now, if you want to check what's happening, where your SonarQube is right now, you can see Docker logs. Okay, permission denied, always use sudo. Okay, now if you see, compute engine is started. SonarQube is operational. When you see this message, that means your SonarQube is up. Okay, then your SonarQube is up. Okay, now we have the SonarQube server setup. Now the second part, this was the first prerequisite part wherein you need to set up Docker, you need to set up SonarQube. Now the second part wherein you need to set up your project, and you need to create a service connection wherein you will integrate your SonarQube with Azure DevOps. Okay, what was the user ID? Default user ID password admin. Keep this in mind. Now it will prompt you to change the password, then I can change it to whatever you want. I'll just change it to test at 1234. Okay, it will update, dismiss. Now there are various ways. This is the first time we are logging into SonarQube. Now it is giving you option to create things like, do you have your configuration on DevOps? Do you have it on Bitbucket? Do you have it on Bitbucket Cloud? Do you have it on GitHub, GitLab? Where exactly it is? If none of this, then manual. Suppose you are using Jenkins, you don't see Jenkins option over here, then you can go and do things manually. I can do things manually also, guys. It's not required that you need to go and use these templates. You can, if you directly want to do things manually, you can do it also. But in my case, we are using There is my project. Let's go to our project. So in my case, we have our own project, so I'll use Azure DevOps option. This one, correct? Okay, this was my pipeline. Now I'll go and use this project itself. So I'll use Azure DevOps. Give a configuration name. So what is the project name? Java Web App, correct? I'm using for Java Web App. Remove this. So I'll just name it as Java Web App. What's your DevOps URL? So you need to give your project URL. So this complete URL you need to give till your organization name. Okay. Personal access token. So this is the token which you need to create. So SonarQube needs this personal access token. In Azure, you need to create this personal access token to give the read-write permission. How do you create this personal access token? If you click over here, it will give you your same PAT, how PAT token gets created. Remember, we have created a PAT token for setting up agent pool. The same thing you need to do it over here. Come over here, create personal access token, name this token as SonarQube. This is how your authentication will happen. Give all access, create, copy this token and keep it for a while Now go ahead and put this token over here. Okay, save configuration. Now this is what we are doing. We are creating a project right now in SonarQube. Again, it will prompt you to put the personal access token, and it will now list your repositories. Which is the project name? This is not my project. So my project is this one. See, this all my project which is there over here got listed. All my projects, there are so many projects I have, correct? So all my project got listed, in which is my project DevSecOps and Java. This is the name of my project. This is my name of the repository, correct? Let's verify. Java web app, perfect. Let's select this. Now it is asking for your integration method. Do you are using Azure pipelines or you are using other CI tool? Okay, so which one we are using? So we are using Azure pipelines. It is asking you install SonarQube extension on Azure DevOps. So how do you install? I already have SonarQube extension, guys, but in your case you will not have your SonarQube extension. What you have to do, go to this marketplace, browse marketplace, go to SonarQube, look for SonarQube. This is the extension what you need. Get it for free. When you click on get it for free, it will take you back to your organization. Now you can go and install. The extension is already installed in your organization. You can click on. So in my case I'm not getting an option to install, but in your case you'll get an option to install over here. In my case, because it is already installed, so make sure install this on your organization level. Now if I show you at my organization settings, if I come to the extension section, then you can see this SonarQube extension already installed. Okay, so this will be visible over here. Once you install it, this will be visible over here. And one more thing, in companies you cannot do it because you will not be the owner. Only the owner will be having this right to install any extension on organization level. So basically when you click on install, the request will be sent to the owner and the owner has to approve it, then only it gets installed. And if you're working on your own project, like in your own laptop, you have your own account, and this is you have created, the organization you have created, then there's no issue. But in real time, the request will be sent to the owner will be installing it for you. Okay, so this is, once it is installed, let's go back to your project. Let's follow the steps. This is done. Now this is asking you to add a SonarQube endpoint to your project. So basically it is asking you to create a service connection. So once the plugin is installed, then only you can create a service connection, guys. If you have not installed the plugin, the SonarQube option will not be visible in your service connection. If I try to look for SonarQube, I'm getting this option because I have the plugin installed. Just keep that in mind. Now it is asking for server URL. This is a URL. Just copy this URL, put it over here. It is asking for token. So this is a token which you need to generate. See, I'm generating a token. Now I'm generating a token at the SonarQube level, on the server level. Generate. Copy this token, put it over here. Give a service connection name. Give whatever name you want. Just name it SonarQube web app. Optional. So you want this service connection for all your pipelines, correct? So save it. You got the service connection created. SonarQube service connection created using basic authentication method. Continue. Now enter memorable connection name, create the service connection. Done. Continue. Now it is asking what option describes your build. So whether it's a .NET application, Maven application, Gradle application, or other JS, TS, Go, Python and PHP. Which one is your application? Mine is Maven, correct? So I'll have Maven created over here. Now what exactly it is asking? So for analysis there are steps given over here. You just need to follow those steps. So these are the steps what it is asking you to put inside your build pipeline. The steps what you see, it is basically asking you to put this inside your build pipeline. Okay, now let's go and follow these steps and see what exactly these steps are. Okay, so what exactly the steps are? In Azure DevOps, create a build pipeline. Forget about this. Select the SonarQube end server. So this is the step which you need to add. Prepare analysis configuration. What is the step? Prepare analysis configuration. This is a step which you need to add. And when do you add this? Okay, when do you add this? This can be added just after. You can have this at the very initial stage also. It's up to you where you want to keep. Just make sure this is kept before your actual build task is happening. So let me edit this quickly, and I can keep this somewhere over here. Okay, somewhere over here at the very beginning. Now if you just look for SonarQube now, so this is the task which you need. Prepare analysis configuration. Select your SonarQube. Select integrate with MS Build, integrate with Maven and Gradle, and use standalone scanner. So this is for Maven. Now this is the properties which you need to put in. From where you get the properties? You'll get the properties from your SonarQube. This is the property. Just copy this, go back, put this over here. So basically if you see this property, it has the key, project key. What it has? It has the project key. So basically this is how it will connect to your project, the project which you have created. Done. Add. Okay, once this prepare analysis is done, SonarQube is dependent on Java. So you will need Java also be installed on your agent pool. Without Java nothing will happen. That should be your next step. You need to install Java. I think it's written in this. Is there? Yeah, see this. Add a new Java tool installer. Without this your SonarQube will not work. So let's get Java 11. How do you have? So just look for Java. See Java tool installer. Change this to 11. Make this architect as 64. That's a 64. Source. We don't have a. Do we have it in your Azure storage? Local directory? No. Pre-installed. So it will get installed automatically from Java source. Add these steps. Okay. So 2 steps. SonarQube prepare. SonarQube installed. This is done. Now this will prepare your SonarQube for scanning. This will have Java installed. Then your actual build and all things will happen. Your code coverage and things will happen. Now the next step is publishing your SonarQube report. Now use code analysis, run SonarQube scan. Okay, come back to your this. We need to change. Do you see the SonarQube is set to false? This needs to change to true. Let's come back to your Maven again. Your Maven task again. This is looking good. Publish. This is looking good. Code coverage we have Jacoco. Now if you come down, there is a box over here. Run SonarQube and SonarCloud analysis. This is the place where your analysis will be done. Use XML Jacoco report for SonarQube analysis. So the XML which is getting created, if you want to use that XML for your code coverage reporting in SonarQube, you can simply check this box. If you don't want, then you can just ignore it. Okay, and simply add this task. Now do you see SonarQube is set to true? It's the same thing. The only thing is the SonarQube have set to true now, and it's using the Maven plugin version as latest. Now this is the actual analysis will happen. This is the place where your actual analysis. This is preparing your project, connecting to your project, basically installing Java. Now this over here, there are so many things happening over here. First is building your Maven. It is running JUnit test. It is running code coverage using Jacoco. Then now it started doing analysis also. Okay. Post this, if you want, if you stop over here, your analysis, everything will happen, but your reports will not get published over here. Now in order to publish reports, you need to add a new task called publish gate. What is the task? Publish gate. This is the task which you need to add. So I can do one thing. I can look for SonarQube again. Understand the sequence, guys. This is how the sequence you need to follow for all the projects, not just for Java Maven. For all the project, prepare, run analysis, publish gates. Java is by default. Without Java, your SonarQube will not even run. Okay, so that is not a step. That is by default. You need to add it. So again, prepare, run Java as an installer, run analysis, then publish gates. You can set up your timeout if you want. I can simply have this task added over here. Okay, perfect. So we got all the steps added. So let's finish this tutorial. Now it is waiting for your commit to happen. If you click on project, you can see one project got created, Java Web App. And if you go inside it, you can see, if you want to set this thing again, then you can follow the same tutorial if you want. So this is where your project is all about, and there's no reporting as of now. Okay, let me check everything is good. Okay, things are looking good. Let me save this and let's wait while the build is happening. Let's go to the repo again and let's see the YAML file again. Okay, so we got the prepare task, we got the installer task, we got the Maven task, publish, copy and build artifact. Perfect. Okay, so your SonarQube preparation was done. Java was installed on your agent pool. So this, where exactly it's getting installed, guys? On your agent pool, correct? Maven is running right now. Anyone, any questions while it is running? So this is my first SonarQube scan, what we are doing. Anyone? Any questions, guys? No questions? Okay. Let's wait then. Now this scan will be based on the default profile and the default quality gate which is created. The build is successful. Now even the Sonar scan was done over here. If I come down, you can see the Sonar scan, code coverage Jacoco. Now if you come down to SonarQube publish, the reports were published. How do you verify? Refresh this. Do you see? This was my application, numeric application. Now 0 bug, 0 vulnerability, no hotspot, 13 code smell, 65% of coverage, and this is what it is showing. It's an XML and Java application. Now if you want to see, it is showing green as passed. That means all the quality gate has passed. So we'll see this is the default quality gate which you saw. Based on that, the scan has happened. Now if you want to see more details about your application, this is how you can go inside and you can see what are the code smell, what are the total line coverage, 80 lines, 3 unit test cases. Now if I click on this box, these are the code smell. Now in this code smell, 1 is critical, 7 is minor, 5 is major. Now what exactly this critical one is? Now the critical one says rename this constant name to match the regular expression. So there is a constant name which is defined. So it is asking rename the constant name to match the regular expression. It is telling you what needs to be done. Now if you want to know why exactly this is the issue, so this is telling you this is the nomenclature of writing a constant. So this is more for developers, not for us. Now if you want to see the major one, so major one is basically it is telling you remove the useless assignment local variable. Okay, what are the others? Used to built-in formatting to construct the argument. Built-in format to construct the argument. What is more code smell? Format specifics should be used instead of string concatenation. So it is asking not to use string concatenation. All these are defined over here. If I go and see minor one, this is something, remove this unused import. So this is the package which we are using, which is not getting used in your code. So it is asking you to remove it. And this one, again this, remove this unused import. So these are minor code smells. So this is how the analysis are done. You got 1 critical, 1 5 major, 7 minor. Okay. Now all these rules are already defined. See, based on your application, like suppose you are using a Java application. So you, Python, Java, C, Java is 628 rules are already defined. All these rules, say like if you go and see these rules, what exactly this rules does. The use of operator pair, where the reverse single operator was meant, will compile with run but not produce the expected result. So these rules are already defined. Now other rules, if you want to see the complete rule, equal should not be used, add check for null should not be used, the controller should not be used, class for name should not be used, clone should not be overridden. All these rules are defined based on your application. So for Java rules, you got Python rules, you got Flex, HTML, all these rules. Based on these rules, the scanning is happening. Now if you want to create your own rules, you can create your own rules. There's no restrictions. Okay. And the quality gates which I was talking about, this is the quality profile which is created for SonarQube. Based on this, you can go and run your scan, but the quality gates which I was talking about, this is the quality gate. So basically in the gate it is written as code coverage is less than 80%, duplicate lines is greater than 3%, maintainability, all these are conditions already given. If you want to create your own quality gates, for example, let's create your own quality gates. Name it as Java Web App. Let's create our own quality gate. Now this is the quality gate what we have. If you want to set this as default, because the scan is happening using this quality gate. If you want your quality gate to set it as default, you can do it, and you can go and add conditions to it. You can change, you can start editing. Like for remove this, I'm just removing all this. I'm keeping coverage as 80%. Now you want to add more conditions. Overall code, if you want code smell, this was not part of it, so I'll just add code smell. above 10 it should not be greater than 10. So this code smell is added. Add some more conditions. So there are two criteria: new code and overall code. New code, like whatever new code has been written by the developer. Overall code will go and check the existing code also. So this is line coverage, lines to cover, code coverage. Let's have coverage. See, the coverage is already set to 80. Overall code I'm just set to 85%. So all these gates I am setting up right now. I got overall coverage should not be less than 85%. Code smell should be not greater than 10. This is what I am setting up right now. And this is, we have got this created. So this is my own gates got created. Okay. Now let's go and use this. Let's do the scanning based on the gates which we have created. What I'll do, I'll just rerun the pipeline. And what should happen? Now the scan should happen based on my gates, the quality gates what we have created. Now let's like run it again. I'm just running it manual for now. Okay, let's wait and let's see what happens. Are we clear with this quality gates, guys? How do we create quality gates and why do we create quality gates? Anyone, any confusion with this quality gates and the other things like rules and things? Now if you want, using SonarQube, if you want to have all sort of other tools like Jacoco and all those XML file given over here, the path if you want to define it over here, even that is possible. SonarQube can take your Jacoco reports and it can publish that also for you. Yeah, anyone, questions?
Rohit, one question about the rules. Actually, on the live or the production, we do create any custom rules, or we follow only default?
No, we do create. So if you're good with so that for that you need to go and look into the SonarQube's format, how the rules are accepted, and then you can have custom rules added to your profile also. You can have custom rules created, you can have templates, you will have templates over here. You can see the templates. Based on that you can create your custom rules. You can have custom profiles. So all the customization, so all these customizations are not available in open source, guys. You may have to take the enterprise version, SonarQube enterprise version also in that case. Okay, because this quality, there are platinum gates. Now in gates also there are criteria. In reality there are platinum gates, there are different golden gates. All these options you get in enterprise version. Now this is a very simple straightforward gate which we have created. There are more advanced, but those options are open only during when you take the enterprise version of SonarQube. Okay, yeah, so answering to your question, in reality we do create custom rules and custom gates and custom profile.
So it's responsible for DevOps engineer only, right, or a developer?
Mainly
creating custom.
You can take the feedback from the developers, but yeah, gates and all, project creation and all, this is mostly done by DevOps engineers. Custom rules and all, that is something you can ask the developer to help you with. But yeah, because he will be the person, the developers will be the person, what rules they want, they will be defining that for you. You may not know that, correct? But yeah, gates and all, like if they say that I want conditional coverage, line coverage, I want code smell, all these criteria if they're giving, you can go and create the quality gates for yourself. Okay, but rules and all, definitely they can create it for you. Now this is my second scan which we did. Now the second scan, if you see the status failed, why it has failed? If you want to view it, it has not passed your criteria. What did we put? I want the coverage should be 65%. No, I want the coverage should be more than 85%, and I want the code smell to be 13, not more than 10. That was my quality gates, correct? That is the reason my things have failed. See the condition, coverage is less than 85%, code smell is greater than 10, hence it has failed. Okay, but the problem is my pipeline has not failed. If my condition quality gate has failed, my pipeline did not break. The pipeline should fail, correct? My pipeline has created an artifact. It's created an artifact. So is your CI/CD stopping? No. So this is the issue. Your things are failed, but your pipeline has not failed. Now you need to fail your pipeline also. If your scanning is failing, then your pipeline should also fail. Okay. For that case, what I can do, I can go over here in my build pipeline. There is a task called sonar break. What is the task? Sonar break. That is the task we need to add. Now sonar break, again a plugin, guys. You need to go and download that plugin. I'll talk about that plugin later. For now, this is the plugin. Let me show you that plugin now. Do you see this SonarQube build break? This is the plugin which is required for breaking your build pipeline. So make sure even this build break plugin is installed when you're installing the SonarQube extension. Okay. Now let's go back to pipelines. Let's go to Java Web App. Edit the pipeline. Now you can have that sonar break just after your publish. So as soon as the report is published, the report failed, your pipeline should fail. Let's look for build break. Okay, this is the break. This is your SonarQube. That's it. Click add. That's it. Done. Sonar build break. Now let's run the pipeline and see if my build is failing. We'll see if my build is failing. If the build is not failing, then there's an issue. Okay, let's wait and see. So there are 4 tasks of SonarQube we have added. Preparing SonarQube, installing Java 11 for SonarQube, running analysis, publishing profile. Now the 4th one is build break. That's the 5th one. Anyone, any questions? And these are the same steps will repeat for any application you're working with. It's not just for Java Maven. These are the same set of steps will be used for any application. If I want to integrate SonarQube now with my .NET pipeline, I can easily do it with the same steps. The only thing is I have to go in over here, create a new project with Azure DevOps and follow the same process. And if I want to integrate my .NET pipeline, this pipeline over here, I can easily do it. Why this is failing? Okay, forget about this. Okay, let's wait. Now this time this is taking more time. Why? Last time it took 2 minutes 31 seconds. Okay. When you guys are practicing, make sure that integrate your .NET build pipeline also. Okay, not just Java. Integrate, create one more project and integrate your .NET also. You need to create a new project. Alright, this is just for Java. This project is created for Java application. Now for .NET application, you need to go and create a new project, follow the same process, follow the same method, and everything needs to be followed exactly the same way. Alright, this is taking time. Okay, done. So it's publishing your report. Now once the report gets published, my pipeline should fail eventually. Did it get published? Let me refresh and see. Okay, do you see the network spike? The VM has exhausted everything. It's a very small VM, guys. See this memory. It has taken the complete memory. And VM ability. The disk is also. CPU utilization 100, almost 100% over here. That's why my project is not responding right now. That's why this is going more than 2 minutes 16 seconds. So that's why you need a good configuration. When you're setting up SonarQube and everything, you need a good configuration basically. Now if you see, this project is not responding, it's still moving. Do I have my Docker running? I'm not getting the command also now. We'll have to wait, or we can upgrade our VM and try this. The server is not responding, guys. 2 GB was less. Not 2 GB, I think the CPU was less this time. There's a CPU issue. Let's wait and let's try to kill and come back. This got stuck. Let me restart the VM. cancel this also. So while testing SonarQube, guys, make sure you have minimum 2 vCPU and 2 gig of memory. If you can go with 4, that is more than enough, because if you want multiple projects such as Java and ASP.NET, so at least have 4 gig of memory. And make sure once you're done with your testing and once you're done with your practice, delete the VM then and there. Okay. Let me come exit out of this. Is it restarted? Still restarting. Let's wait. Everyone understood the process? How do we set up server? How do we run the analysis? And how do we publish reports? If there's any customization gates needs to be done, then how do we create our own custom gates and things like that? Any confusion? Any doubt? Anyone? The only part is remaining is the build break, which has got implemented. The only thing is the server got stuck while we have implemented the build break. I'm just trying to reboot. If not, we may have to upgrade the VM. Even after the reboot, if it's not happening, then I can go and upgrade my VM also. Change the configuration. Where's the option? Sizes. In the sizes, I can go and change the VM size. I can upgrade to something else. Okay, for now I'll not do it. I'll stick with, I'll see if the restart is happening. Is it done? Okay, let's go and status running. Let's log into the server again. Hopefully we should get it. Do we have? It's still loading. SSH devopsmela at. No, the VM is still not up. Not able to log into this VM right now. Let's stop this VM. Okay, I think guys we'll stop over here. The only part is remaining the build break. And the build break, this is how the build break step needs to be added. Post that, when you try to run the build, it will start breaking your pipeline. Let's see for more 5 minutes. This is very less. Next time onwards we'll start only with 2 vCPU minimum. I think the VM got stuck. Let's see, watch it for more 5 minutes. Okay, let me stop the recording.